Oh, hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for joining me here today. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, Two of Swords. Something's been on your mind lately. I feel that there is, you're sort of torn between two feelings, maybe even, right? You're torn between two kind of paths. You know, it's, I feel like you're going through your day trying to be sort of consistent and stable and take care of your responsibilities, but I feel like you're kind of torn. I feel like part of you wants to be here, part of you wants to be somewhere else, right? And I think that you're somebody who has a difficult time making big decisions right now, okay? This card is sort of telling you to use your intuition, but I think when you try, your mind sort of gets involved and we start debating, wondering, thinking of reasons for and against the big decision, you know. Maybe you're thinking of changing something in your life, career, where you live, your relationships, right? Thinking of either getting into something or getting out of something. And you can't have one foot in, one foot out, right? And this card kind of looks like that. Looks like we're straddling the line here, and we've got to pick a side. We're right on the fence about something, yeah. Usually in your life, you're very quick to make decisions. You're pretty good at it, you know. But this is one. It must be very significant because I feel that it's not coming easily to you. You don't know the right answer to something, you know. Let's put this into some context. Right, let's see what else might be going on here. Got a Five of Cups. Yeah. Got the Hanged Man. And we've got a Prince of Swords. We do have an Eon card. Interesting with the Eon card, now we have the Baptism by Water or the Baptism by Fire. Which one are we choosing? All right. Yeah, we've got the fire there. The a lot of fives now. Five of Cups, Five of Wands. We've got the Star card. There's your idea of destiny, right? And a Six of Swords. We've got a Queen of Swords here and Hierophant. Very interesting. Feels to me like you're definitely having some mixed feelings about whatever's going on right now. Okay, I like that we have these four major arcana energies. But there's mixed feelings, right? The Five of Cups is the wave of emotions. Sometimes they come in, they're negative. Sometimes they come in, they're positive. It's pleasant or unpleasant. That's just the way of the world, right? Maybe you're having a difficult time understanding what these waves of emotion mean and figuring out if it means that you're meant to make this big change to where you are, go somewhere else, right? What are the Five of Cups telling you? Yeah. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it here with Frankenduck right on top. We're not going to look at that card till the very end. It will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments, right? It's a good opportunity to practice that intuition that seems to be sort of difficult to hear right now, all right? Okay, let's look around the room. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards. We've got a little bit of fire, we've got a little bit of water, and then all the air. All the air, okay? We have air even with this star card, which is Aquarius. We've got fire and water here, showing kind of the options, different paths that you could take. And then I think with the Hierophant here, we kind of have your higher self, your true self, sort of speaking up, and your this is some earth energy at the end, you know, with the Taurus power card. So I think it's giving us sort of a path forward. We have kind of we've got a course of action now. We kind of know what we're gonna do. But I've got a weird feeling about this reading. You know, I'm also Spirit's telling me something about one of your friends or somebody, or maybe it's a partner or something. They keep like all the tickets from every place that you guys have ever been. Like somebody is really like keeping all the old concert tickets. You know, maybe like since you were a kid, like they have a whole like book of all the old concert tickets. I don't know if it's you or if it's someone that you used to go do these things with. It kind of tells me that somebody has the really, really good memory, right? And I kind of wonder if that's a factor here for you in some ways, the idea of your memory, because I feel like somebody remembers the important dates and the important events and the schedule kind of thing, especially with the Six of Swords being in the environment. It kind of is, it's making me wonder if there's an issue with your memory, or if it's just that you just really kind of don't remember a lot of things, that you're not as organized as you would like to be, and maybe there's somebody that you rely on that is. Yeah. I don't know why that's coming through. That seems to be a factor here for some reason. Okay. Let's talk about the Five of Cups, because the Five of Cups is sometimes a feeling of disappointment. Sometimes it's really a fear of missing out. It's a feeling like, gosh, my life, I would feel better if I was somewhere else, you know, because for the moment, I think we identify with this wave of unpleasant feeling that comes upon us. And while it's there, it's kind of like, I want to be anywhere but here. You know, once it washes away, we feel better. We feel maybe neutral. Then maybe we get a pleasant emotion, and it grips us. We identify it with, I don't want to be anywhere but here, right? And that's kind of the Two of Swords. And I think that it's sort of flowing. The waves go in and out, and it's not very predictable all the time. And maybe your life right now is not so predictable on a day-to-day, whether it's going to be an unpleasant day or a pleasant day. Whether the emotions coming in from somebody else, maybe a significant other, spouse, maybe someone at work, maybe a friend, family member, coworker, sibling, whatever it is. You don't really know what feeling you're going to expect every day. So there's no consistency here. Anytime we get a 5, we start looking around for the 4. What do we see? Just another 5. We don't have the 4 that we need here. Okay? We don't have the sort of the predictability that we're looking for. Yeah. Now back to that memory thing for a second, because I am still getting that idea that you're relying on somebody for something. Yeah, and I feel like that's kind of a factor in what's going on. Maybe it's somebody that helps you stay organized. Maybe it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe you and your partner are sort of like fire and water. You don't always get along, but when you do, it's, you know, it can be productive, right? It's fire and water get together. There's, you know, a lot of steam, and steam can either burn and confuse and all that stuff, or it can really be channeled into the engine, and we can get the power, we can get the momentum and the motion going, and we can build something great, right? It could be an idea of you in a romantic situation or an intimate relationship with somebody, but there are no boundaries. right? There's just 5. There's no 4. If we think of a 4, we think of a square, right? And then we think of the 5 of any suit. And it kind of is like there's one that's kind of crossing, it's encroaching that boundary. We got the 4, we got the box, and then there's one coming in. So I wonder if this is a situation either with a coworker or a family member, friend, or even a spouse or a business partner, creative collaborator, where there isn't there isn't enough of a set boundary, that it's kind of it's interfering with you personally, emotionally. And that's where the problem is. If there was a distinction, if there was a line, if there was sort of a little bit of space, if there was a boundary there, then that fire and water can work together just right to make the steam, to get the locomotion, right? To get the progress, to get the sort of to get whatever this is built, right? To reach the success. Yeah. And that's kind of the Hierophant energy, because the Hierophant is sort of the builder, right? The builder of the institution, the erector of institutions, the builder of law and order, kind of in a way, right? And it is that Taurus energy, and Taurus to me is always kind of a builder type of energy. So I think the 5 of Cups is a challenging thing. And honestly, what it usually leads to, I think, is strife, fighting, struggle, conflict. And that's sort of the misusage of the steam energy, And I think it's because we don't have the 4, we don't have a boundary. That there's really things are too familiar here, where maybe this other person really knows how to push your buttons. Maybe they have it almost feels like they have carte blanche, where they can just push your buttons anytime they want, right? And in fact, it seems that your buttons are getting pushed, whether you're in there pushing them or somebody else is doing it. It's leading to a lot of this 5 of Swords. And so I think that you're kind of in this predicament now with the 2 of Swords, where you don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Spirit's saying there's an issue with your glasses. You broke your glasses, or you lost them, or something about your eyes, and something about how you're seeing things, right? With your glasses. Yeah, they broke or something. The Hanged Man underneath everything, it's kind of like choice number 1, stay and you suffer. Choice number 1, you just sacrifice all these other things that you feel like you're missing out on, the kind of perhaps a more pleasant life, a more pleasurable life, a more exciting life, or a more connected life. I don't know what it is exactly. It could be any of these things, right? But sacrificing the kind of life that you feel maybe you could have if things were different. Versus the Eon card, the divine doorway of fire, the rebirth, the reawakening, the energy that sort of says, this is a different future. Everything you want is on the other side of this doorway. It's very tempting, right? But we don't know if we're just kind of reacting emotionally, or if this is really a doorway that we need to go through, because our best life is on the other side of this. Okay. And of course, it seems that there would be a third option, and that would be setting up your current situation with some sort of boundaries, right? So that, there's a reason why you're in this situation, whether it's with an employer, friend, family members, a lover, romantic partner, whatever it is, whatever you are in this sort of emotional situation with. The establishment of some sort of boundary, some sort of organization and order might allow you to really achieve that best life, achieve whatever the goal is. Why are the 2 of you together? What are you doing together? Is it building a life, building a family, building a home, building a business, building an act, an artistic thing, right? A musical act, a band, or whatever, I don't know. Financial success, I guess, creative success. Maybe there isn't so much of the dichotomy here. There might be a different way, right? But what we see back here with the fixed air energy is that, one, I think that there has been a commitment made. We see that sort of here with the institution of the Hierophant. And maybe there's already been a marriage. Maybe this is a contract. Maybe this is sort of maybe just an oath or a promise. Or there's something that sort of sealed the deal here. Okay, so this isn't a decision that you're sort of taking lightly. It's not just something that you could just very casually walk away from. There's a serious commitment here. I think also the Prince of Swords here, we might be talking about, well, we got the fixed air here, both these, Aquarius energies. We might be talking about an Aquarius person in your life, okay? Or, an air person generally. But I think that this is also the idea or the disbelief that this other person can change. You not sort of very confident that this person can be anything other than how they are. Okay? Now, we've had a couple of these sort of readings for you where the things seem pretty challenging. Okay? I think we're getting somewhere. But I think that we first have to sort of get out of this belief that people are stuck, that people cannot make any progress. This is kind of a very broad statement about this person, that they refuse to change or they're incapable of changing, right? Maybe we're not recognizing that a little bit of change has happened, that there is progress being made, okay? But there's always another hand, right? On the other hand, maybe it's a day late and a dollar short, right? Too little, too late. But I think if we at least can recognize and try to be somewhat objective, and I know over here with the Queen of Swords that's sort of difficult, is getting out of the tumultuous water energy, right? The Queen of Swords has risen above this Five of Cups, the sort of turbulent waters, right? In order to see what's really going on. It's not easy to do that. It's not easy to do that. But if we can, then maybe we can sort of see, well, hey, there has been progress here. And this is something that, maybe we can even see that, hey, there are really, in all seriousness, there are more good days than bad days. Maybe, right? I'm not saying that's the case, but it might be. Maybe we can see that, hey, even though there are struggles, this is something that is important, that means something, and what do you see on the other side of this doorway? I think that's a really big issue. That's a big question that we have to ask ourselves, because this is a divine doorway. Okay, this is a passageway, a doorway of fire, right, to your future. Usually with this card we can see what's on the other side of this, and in a way I think you can. I think what you see is the Hierophant. You see that you're meant for great things. You see that you are you are succeeding. You're leveling up in your life. You are becoming the master of your destiny, the master of your life. You're meant to really fulfill your nature and become the best version of yourself. Okay? But when you look through that doorway, who do you see? Is this person with you? Are you by yourself? Are you with different people? What exactly is going on there, right? Maybe we can't see that. Maybe we have no way to know. Because that's a divine doorway, let's select a divine doorway card. I do think I am getting that idea that you've been having some issues with your memory lately. And I guess that's our doorway. Sunset. Time here turns to release and unfurl. Old cords of pain fade as the sun's light burns. The sunset is kind of the slow but very natural ending of something. Okay, maybe an indication that you kind of know what this all means for you. Okay. The Five of Wands in the future position, I think, is saying that we really don't want the fighting anymore. That there is this conflict, this animosity that's taking place in life that I think this is not the end in itself. You want to get over here. This is where it's at. But we get stuck here. This is the future that you see. This is all you kind of see. Whenever you look at the future, you just see struggle, right? Fight. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about the memories, I don't know if that means that you're having a difficult time remembering things, or if maybe there's even an influx of memories. You're having too many memories, right? A lot of things that maybe been long forgotten, everything's coming to the surface now. And it maybe is overwhelming all of these kinds of these images and things that you're having to now process and go through. And I think that's really part of the Five of Cups and the Two of Swords too. Something right now is unleashing a lot of memories, and those are very emotionally charged memories. Okay. Start your journal. Start writing down your life again. I feel that you've stopped. You need to write that stuff down. Okay? At least once or twice a day, write down kind of the as much as you can. And really, it doesn't even have to be a narrative. It doesn't even have to be coherent. Just get the stuff that's in your head out on paper. Okay? Spirit is saying that if you have a romantic partner right now, that they are very faithful and they do honor your relationship, if that is a concern. Okay? That seems kind of seems a possibility with some of this, and maybe that's what a lot of this fighting has been about. Maybe that there has been a feeling of infidelity, right? A feeling that something's been wrong, but there's really no objective. There's really no objective kind of reason to assume that, right? We're going to talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. It supports the channel, and we really need to support all of our favorite YouTube tarot readers. I know I'm your number one favorite, but everybody else too that you love and that you value. Like the page, like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, watch the videos all the way through till the end. It's the best way to support your favorite channels. All right. Now let's talk about the star card, because the star is sort of the spiritual energy, the divine light that is supposed to answer some questions for us. Supposed to allow us to answer, who am I and why am I here? This is the spiritual insight that we're really looking for. We want to be sort of bathed in the divine light so that the divine light can show us where our problem areas are, which the knots are the fives. There's an emotional knot. There's this energetic, creative knot. Okay? Something in your life is not working, whether it's your approach, whether it's your reaction to things, or whether it is the circumstances that you're in that you're just not accepting and you're not able to harmonize with it. Because there's that six. The environment has a Six of Swords. Right? It's almost saying that the other person is all just kind of harmony and peace and beauty, and you're tied up in these knots. Yeah. And I don't know if it's kind of, if it's just showing maybe the ideal that things really should be perfect, but there's something there's something causing the tension and the friction. Okay. The star card also shows, once it sort of illuminates where our problem areas are, where our karmic knots are that we've got to work on, it shows us the path before us. And maybe we're not going to get that. Maybe we're not going to see the harmony and the beauty. We're not going to see the divine plan until we work on the emotional stuff that's going on within us. The stars may be saying, you got to take care of phase 1 before you're able to work on phase 2, which is seeing the path forward and actually making progress. There's a blockage to progress, right? If we want the 6, if we want harmony and beauty and joy and resonance, first we've got to take care of those blockages, right? And that's what the star card is showing us. And your general energy, I think, is one where you are, you're a person who has a spiritual path, and you have spiritual work to do. And I feel like this is it right now, is figuring out sort of why you feel the way you feel, and how how strongly are those feelings motivating you to do one thing or the other? Okay, with the Hanged Man down here too, I wonder if this is such stress that it's starting to cause you some physical ailments, right? If that you're more aware of what your body is sort of feeling now. Okay, maybe you've been having more headaches, digestive issues, more aches and pains generally. Okay, it is the feeling that something needs to change, that you've been sacrificing yourself for a long, long time, and feeling as if things stay the same, it's going to just get worse. And of course, the radical opposite of that is that you start living for yourself, and that you go through this doorway and you make this really, really sort of drastic change. Almost invoking a tower energy here. Okay. Now, have you ever tried adult coloring books? I don't know, that image is coming to me of I don't know if that's really what it is, but the idea of you doing very delicate drawing or coloring or something, right? Maybe it's painting or something, but it's very fine lines, right? Very delicate work. I don't know if you do that or if it's sort of saying you should be doing that. Yeah. We know about the Queen of Swords and the objective look at things, but it's really hard to get an objective look at yourself when you're in the feelings, especially when you're in the kind of water fire mixture and there's just, it's all steam. You can't really, it's difficult to see what's really going on. Okay. For having so little water energy in the reading, this feels like a very emotional thing. Yeah. And I honestly, I'm not sure what to say about it anymore, because I feel that this is something that, as temporary as the feelings are, right? And I think, you identify with the unpleasant feeling and then it washes away again and it's okay, you're neutral now, But I feel that maybe this wave of unpleasant emotion happens so often that it's kind of, it's frustrating you. It's leading you to this Five of Wands that just says, I'm done. I mean, it's not like any one thing is so bad, but it's almost like it's an accumulation of things. That it's just sort of weighing, and it's like this anchor. The anchor is composed of, a lot of little tiny anchors. It's not just one big thing that happened. I think it's a lot of these little things that you just keep on. It's like that episode of The Office, right? Where Jim starts every day, puts one new key on Dwight's big key ring until it's going to get so heavy that his pants are going to fall down. And it never happened because Pam spoiled it, but whatever. It's an accumulation of all of these little weights that are just sort of dragging you down further and further. And the more weight that's on there, you're kind of sinking a little bit faster, right? And so I feel like maybe there is change that's needed, but we've got this fixed earth energy at the end, this Hierophant. It almost says that there is sort of a law or a rule or some sort of a binding that says you cannot change, you cannot leave. This is where you're meant to stay. This is what you're meant to do. There's no escape from this situation, And maybe this is the sanctity of marriage. That maybe this is the institution or you've signed that contract perhaps, right? And it's kind of like, maybe not legally, but with the Hierophant, it kind of says that maybe there's a moral obligation or there's something else that's tying you to this situation. Now, this may not be a person. It could be the job, the path that you're on, the life that you're leading, whatever. The fact is that you feel that there's some sort of moral obligation that won't let you leave. And so the alternative is that you just got to suffer. That you're eternally bound to this situation. And again, it might not even be legally. It might just be like in that institution, that some sort of moral obligation. Yeah. I want to do an empowerment oracle card here for you. I honestly, I can't read for Cancer anymore. I don't know what this is. I don't know who this other person is, and I don't know why you feel like you cannot just leave. Yeah. Empowerment oracle, tool of habit. I will use the tool of habit to build my life, not tear it apart. Like hot metal, new beliefs and habits begin as malleable as liquid, but set as hard as iron. Are we staying in this situation because it has become habit, because it has just become so familiar that we are just fixed in this? I mean, this fixed earth energy, this could be, if we make the changes, this could be you over time becoming comfortable in a new life, in a new circumstance, in a new environment, in an environment that is more harmonious and perhaps productive and calm and a little bit more resonant. Okay? So it's not like this is the only thing that's ever going to feel kind of normal. Is this the normal you want? Right? Is this the normal that you want? Let's look at the mystery card. I don't know what else really to do here. Spirit's telling you to look for alternatives here, but to understand why you feel so trapped in this. Okay? What do I want to see here? I want to see change, right? I want to see, I don't even really want to see the 4, because I feel like we're not done with the 5. Like anytime we see 5, we want the 4. I want to see another 5. I want to see that, okay, this is now leading you to put your feet on the ground, to put the rubber on the road and do something. Yeah? 5 of Pentacles. Then we'll have 3 5s here. And if that's not enough to get you moving, then I quit. I don't know. Let's see what we have. One little bell. You're putting the rubber to the road. You're kind of you're doing something, right? You're making a change in the situation. You're not just sort of suffering and just saying, well, this is just my life now, and down we go, spiraling down like we're circling the drain here. You're doing something. You're putting in some sort of effort. With all this energy, we finally get a little bit of earth energy, showing that while it's not your fault, I mean, I don't know the ratio of blame here, right? I don't care about that. But this is you being proactive and you taking responsibility for your physical actions, your behaviors. You're changing your behavior in a positive way. Even if it means that it's going to get harder before it gets better. It's going to get more difficult before it gets beautiful and great. Okay? You're doing the difficult thing. And, we have a lot of air. We got our water. And we got our major arcana. This is major arcana that says, hey, this is a significant kind of karmic thing for you. You've got to start taking steps. You got to put your shoes on and, hit the pavement, as they say. Okay? And usually, usually readings aren't really this kind of direct, This is saying you got to move. Something needs to change. And the only change that you can control is your own change. Your own behavior is all you are really responsible for. And you've got to get a move on. All right. We're going to move on to the extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Cancer, Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Doesn't cost anything. But leave a comment for me. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Give a shout out to your country or your town. Yeah. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.